Now let's start building plots with matplotlib. Um, just a brief intro into the library. It is the standard way of, well, there's no standard way, but it is probably the most commonly used package to generate data visualization in Python. As I said, there's many others, but matplotlib is really the foundational library, and it's been around for a very long time. You can generate really high quality publications, quality figures with this. One of its main features, which is makes it difficult to use, but which makes it also very attractive, is that it's highly customizable. So you can change about everything, the style of the figure, every detail of the figure you can access and configure to your liking. As a beginner, I would just use the standard configurations and then later on just start exploring different style options and controlling your own style with style sheets and things like that. Um, but with the vanilla package that comes delivered right out of the box, you can already generate some really nice plots. And yeah, it is industry standard, so many people are using it. There's one really critical thing to say about matplotlib. When it was first developed, it was sort of trying to copy MATLAB style coding into Python. So there is a MATLAB style API for matplotlib, but this is not advisable to use anymore. This is just a historical way of doing it. So we will focus on the object-oriented way of dealing with matplotlib. So first of all, you have to import it. We usually, so the main library is called matplotlib.pyplot, and we import it as PLT. So this import line you just memorize, or you ask ChatGPT and again until you memorize it to bring it into your notebooks. And then there's two objects. So you generate your plots with this command, with this method subplots. So plt.subplots. And this generates two different objects, a figure object and an axis object. And I'll explain what that means a little bit later. And with these objects, you have access to different methods, and you can start building your library. And I would recommend you keep on using this, otherwise it gets confusing to mix the two. And this is the standard way to do it now. So you always start your figure with this figure axis equals PLT subplot. And these names are variable names, so you can say Otto and Charlie here if you want to, but generally we say figure and axis to keep it either ax or axis to keep it understandable in the code. And we'll talk about making the figure in the notebook later. So just remember, figure is the entire canvas and axis is the individual plots. And there you can actually bring several plots together. So we'll show you that in the next lecture to do subplots. But let's get started and look at it in the notebook, because I think that's the better way to do it by yourself. So I won't go through every cell in this notebook. So this is designed for your self-study. So go through this bit by bit. It's quite comprehensive, but we start very simple. So first of all, import it. And we're importing also NumPy because we use it just to generate some random data in a minute that we want to plot. And we start with figure x equals PLT subplots. And then here we just generate some random data. So it's a function y equals 2x. So on the x-axis, we have data points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 on the y-axis. And then the simple command x.plot, and within the parentheses, you plot the data x and y. You getting a nice figure already. So this is the standard way of generating visualizations. And now the fun starts, because you can endlessly customize that and add different types of data and play around with this in great depth actually. So the first thing we want to do is always we want to name our axis. So there's this method on the ax object, set x label, set y label, and also set the title. So this I would always recommend you labeling your axis nicely, and you generate a title so that people can understand what it is they're looking at. In notebooks, you don't actually need to use that plt show, so you can forget about that. It works without it. But in other programs to actually show the figure, you have this plt.show method in the end. But yeah, let's get rid of that here for now. So that works fine. You can try this building these things by yourself, and then then we're going into different ways of displaying the data, showing different data points, colors, shapes, all the things we discussed before to make your data talk. Generating, this is probably quite important. If you want to we can plot two datas on the same axis. So we can here say, for example, set we plot x and y1 in on one line, and use the same axis to plot another plot x and y2. So then they're together, and automatically some colors are actually assigned. And here we can add a label that would then be assigned to label and so people know that this is a linear function and this is a quadratic function, and so on. I think I will leave this notebook with you now, so you can have a look and play around. There's different types of plots. So this is just an introduction. We go into specific plots and start using them on the actual gene expression data next, so that you can see a little bit more the power of the matplotlib library.